All right, and help me welcome to the stage your next comedian, ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Frank. Andrew!
Hi everyone. My father's a preacher, which was hard for me growing up, but I don't think we're that different. You know, he writes sermons and he preaches, and I write jokes and I tell them to you. It's like the same thing. Like the only difference is like my dad doesn't have to deal with hecklers, but he should have to, right? That should just be a part of church. Like every Sunday, at least one person should stand up and be like, bullshit! Instead, they just sit there quietly like, this sounds like bullshit. I like people who challenge and evolve our ideas, you know? Take Martin Luther, for example. Back in Germany, back in the day, he had some problems with the Catholic Church. He wrote them down, nailed them to the door. That's so badass. Not only did he start the Protestant Reformation, but he basically invented Yelp. Can you imagine if he wrote it like a Yelp review? Like I was at the Catholic Church the other day, and I was so disappointed. They turned a philosophy of love and acceptance into an ideology of fear and exclusion used for political domination and financial profit. 1 star. Went to a Christian school for 12 years, and I did not receive a sex ed class at all. They told us 2 things in the Bible. It says to wait to have sex until you're married, and it also says to not masturbate, which is the worst combination of all time. Like, can you imagine if everybody followed that? Just the chaos that would happen. You go to every bar, and every guy would go up to every girl and be like, do you want to get married? I need to get married so bad. A little backed up right now. Gotta get it out. The only verse in the entire Bible about masturbation, it's in the Old Testament. I'll quote it word for word. It says, do not spill thy seed upon the ground. It's like, who's jerking off onto the ground? Was that a problem back in the day? It was a very specific rule, you know? Why did God put that in the Bible? You know? Did he come down to earth like, my children, I have some rules for you? What is on the floor? What is this? All over the place. What have you been doing down here? Alright, put it in the book. These people need a rule, apparently. You guys... Noah, get in the ark. I gotta send a flood now to wash all this combo. I mean, it's... all over the place. He's always told Jesus is coming back, and I hope he does. You know, I hope Jesus comes back because I want to do this prank show with him. Okay? Yeah, it's a hidden camera show. Okay. First episode, we're on like an airplane, just waiting for the plane to take off. And we all know how Jesus looks. He's got like dark skin and a robe and sandals and a big beard. And there's this woman in the corner looking at him all paranoid, and she starts praying like, Lord Jesus Christ, please protect us from this Muslim terrorist. And then Christ walks over and goes, hey, fuck you, it's me. You're being kind of a bigot right now. I know you're a submissive consumer of the perception the media creates to support the agenda of the military-industrial complex. Well, let's just try to love each other a little bit instead of praying racist prayers. How about that? You're on a hidden camera show right now. It's called Jesus Christ is Jesus Christ. I'm your host, Jesus Christ. There's a camera hidden here, and there's a camera hidden here. We cut the whole thing on the smallest handheld cameras. Told that joke the other day, this woman in the front row, she goes, you're going to hell for that joke. Going to hell. It's like, that's stupid, you know? It's just arrogant to think that a joke can get you into hell. Like I show up, I'm like, hi, I'm here to check in. They're like, who are you? I'm like, you didn't hear my edgy joke? Then they're just like, this isn't a real place, how'd you get down here? How are you here right now? I don't think hell's real. And if it is, I don't think it's a place of eternal suffering and punishment. I think it's just a place where Satan congratulates you on how good of a job you did for him. You know? Seriously, I think it's like a big banquet party for evil fucks. Yeah. Like Satan's like, come on in guys, we got food and drinks. make sure you get your name tags. I know they're not your specific names, they're just the names of the corporations you worked for, but just make sure you put those on. Monsanto, get on in here, Monsanto. Monsanto's like dipping a chip, they're like, what's in this dip? Santa's like, yeah, it'd be nice to know what's in your food, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be great? To know what you're eating? BP, get on in here, have a drink, you're spilling it everywhere. Come on, BP. ISIS, sit right next to Lockheed Martin. Sorry I mixed up your name tags, but you're based in the same company. So, get to know each other. Yeah. People are very afraid. I think the media has a large part to do with that. We live in a very chaotic, violent world. My sister's a kindergarten teacher. She said that the other day, one of her kids cleaned up all her toys at recess. So she goes up to the girl, she goes, Sarah, you did such a great job cleaning up your toys. And the girl says, that's because my dad says if I don't clean up after myself, ISIS will get me. So the dad comes to pick up the girl, and my sister goes up, she goes, hey, your daughter mentioned ISIS, I was just wondering what you had told her. And the dad goes, I know it's not right, but I can get her to do anything if I just tell her ISIS will get her. And my sister tells us this at like a family dinner, okay? And all my relatives are laughing at this little girl, like she fell for it, right? It's like the threat of ISIS got this little girl to clean up all her toys. But the threat of ISIS also got an entire population of adults to surrender their civil liberties and justify 13,000 airstrikes. But that little girl really fell for it, right? What a gullible little bitch. She walked right into it. They got her good. Thank you guys. Good night.
Andrew Frank, ladies and gentlemen.